can be the making of people. It absolutely can make someone into something they weren't. It consumes our world for, let's say, a year and a half. In terms of what the rally throws at you, you've got to be prepared for whatever it is. Animals, mud holes, washaways, motorbikes, lorries, extreme heat, extreme rain, everything. When you come on the safari, you focus 100% on one thing. And the one thing is to try and help the client get to the end, whatever the situation. So, and from a driving point of view, when you shut the door on a rally car, it's just the most peaceful place to be. No distractions. Phone off, doesn't matter where you are. And there's no better place to do that than in Africa.
Take me higher, wanna get higher with you. Take me higher, wanna get higher.
I think Africa does that too. There's colours and there's noises and there's people. We load everything up from here. We don't rely on any local kit really, with the exception of vehicles. Yeah, so today we're loading 5 containers in total. The breakdown of those containers is one, what we call our mothership, the great big green thing, which has all the mass parts, tyre fitting machines and then the larger items. That's a big container. One container full of tyres for 16 cars to enjoy the safari rally with. And then today we're sending 6 cars.
Each service van's kitted out with spares for every eventuality. Me and Callum we went through a final bit of a checklist yesterday. I quizzed him on just a few things, just try and catch him out. I couldn't. But it's even things like, you know, how much angle iron have you got? How many lengths of angle iron? Because you just don't know, you know. A big accident, you might have to make something on the side of the road, so you might have to weld something in. So some of the stuff in there you think, what the hell do you need that for? But you just don't know. So you've got to take it. A spare roll cage just in case. That sort of thing.
Welcome to Vipingo Ridge, our base for the 2022 Safari Rally. This is where we unload, live, shake down, get ready for this crazy event that we're about to go on. This is what we call our mothership. In the front, an air-conditioned stores which has a large volume of consumables and anything that we might need, or we hope we don't, but we probably will. Spares in the front of that, and in the back the tyre guys work like hell fitting tyres throughout the event. And this comes night to night, so it doesn't travel with us on the road. We're only allowed to access it in the evenings. Spare engine, just loading into the truck as well. We just worked through all the cars. So we've already shaken these cars down in the UK. We now shake them down here 5 k's away. We'll go there this afternoon. And that's really important because an African road throws up all sorts of interesting things, and it just sharpens us up ready for the event. Each car has one of these and 2 guys in it. We call them bongos. 2 guys, 1 bongo. And in here, we have a very quick look. That's about 80 litres of fuel. This is just being loaded. It will carry 6 spare tyres. It will carry a gearbox, a steering rack, front suspension, rear suspension, drive shaft, clutch. Just a world of spare parts. So we have these guys that are on the road charging around after the cars all day, every day. The mothership that we just saw then is there every night. Yeah, it's quite an operation. But the fun starts tomorrow, clients are arriving, and of course we need to get them up to speed as quickly as we can.
I think the big thing is we're doing nearly 5,000 kilometres. In that you get everything from incredibly smooth flowing gravel. It can be very high speed in places. It can be very tight and twisty up the mountains. But I mean, to put it into perspective, the last time I drove on the rally in 2017, over one stage our average speed was 94 miles an hour, average.
Well, we come back here every 2 years, and I'm pretty sure they just keep getting bigger. Same dudes, 2 years older. No, it's wonderful, really nice. And we've supported the school in the past through Team Tito Race for Health. So there's a little bond here, and it's always nice to come back.
Some of our clients, the two cars we've got behind us, it's the first time they've done the East African Safari Classic. So I mean, it's vitally important to them. This is welcome to Africa. So this is their chance to familiarise themselves with what they can expect over the the next couple of weeks. I mean, obviously it's different to a conventional car because the engine's at the back, but they're a fantastic car on the gravel. You know, you really can move the car around, and you're always using the weight transfer of the car, you're using that rear engine momentum. So yeah, these are very analogue cars, but it makes them quite rewarding.
You always been a Porsche guy?
Oh yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Once you know how to drive them, there's nothing like it. But you got to learn how to, for sure.
We're lucky because mechanically, this is our top mechanic and co-driver. So
it's going to come into service and it won't need a thing.
We've got Tusk on the side of our car.
They support conservation efforts throughout Africa, and one of the things we decided to do was raise money for the conservation efforts that focus in Kenya to give back to this country that allows this amazing event to happen.
Basically, I'm gonna get in there, start the car and drive it. Try to keep it alive, that's it.
We've been waiting a long time, really excited. It's all about dreams and sort of aspirations, and now we're finally getting out there. So really looking forward to it.
You're going to use quite a lot of tyres on this rally. These 15 cars are going to use quite a lot, but the organisers allow us to have a container full of tyres. We've got 2 tyre guys, not an ounce of fat on them. They will be working 24/7.
So we're all finished up here, all the cars have been shaken down, the customers are happy, we're all getting ready to go to set off to Naivasha. The 13 vans have already travelled up there over the last couple of days, and we've got the final 11 going today. Some people are lucky enough to get on the planes. Rich has just taken off over there now, so he'll be there later on today.
So, from Mombasa to Naivasha, a new location for us actually as a pre-rally base, an amazing place, Matteo's Italian restaurant, and all the cars have made their way up from Mombasa, so those that we were shaking down a couple of days ago are now arriving. Last few guys are in from England. Philip's arrived, and Philip's arrival is always a thing. It's lovely to see him, I haven't seen him for a while, he's on great form, and no doubt in the back of most videos you're going to hear his wonderful laugh. Well done.
I didn't break it, day one.
Well done. This is Martin. He used to be a rally driver and he was reasonably good, weren't you? He was very good.
It was okay.
But more importantly, look at his trainers. So they're quite smart, but they're not safari smart. No.
Make sure I have champagne in my camelback as well.
Yeah, not vodka.
No.
No, not for
We
mornings.
have to be responsible, come on, we're driving.
There's these sort of official yet unofficial glasses that I'm hearing about.
I've got pit vipers, the official unofficial glasses of motorsport. I don't even know how you can go fast without them. You can't actually get a pair of these unless you've driven a highly modified vehicle, definitely into something or off something. No, I'm not sponsored, but I'm looking for sponsorship. I actually asked them. I sent them an email. they said no.
The circuit racer sees the same corner 1,000 times, but a rally driver sees 1,000 corners one time. This one rally, 8 days of rallying, is 100 miles longer distance than our entire US rally all put together. You know, I've been to Africa before, but on safari, so this is the first time actually really being on the roads. The great thing for having Richard in the car, though, is not only seeing what you can do, but also, you know, for him to be able to tell me too fast, too slow, that sort of thing, because I literally have no basis of knowledge here. You know, there's drivers here that have been doing it, you know, 5, 10 times. Alex and I've never driven here. So this will be our first time racing this car and our first time racing in Kenya.
Ruts, fork left.
Very quick, you know,
yeah.
left to the floor.
And then that's really hidden.
Yeah.
So it's a really, really long,
Hard
beautiful
to see.
straight, and you're going to be looking. So we've just let Ken out in the wild, and I guess in about 8 kilometres time we're going to see what he makes of it all. But it's funny when you start working with someone new, because a lot of the time you don't know who they are or where they've come from. But of course Ken's history is fairly well documented. So I had a very quick spin with him in Saudi, a very quick spin with him this morning. And there's no doubt in my mind that he's got what it takes. Pace-wise, it's just a non-problem. He's all over it. So this is the start of the education of how to approach Africa, how to approach ruts and crests and big holes. We are a little bit limited with roads we can use up here, so we're doing what we can, and he will go into the rally day one still a little short on mileage, but first impressions are great, and he's driven plenty of things, and I'm sure this will be absolutely fine.
He said the car isn't such the worry, where to like keep the car safe so you don't get punctures.
You know, if you're in fifth and you're flat, you haven't got a limiter. You've got a gear change light, that's not a limiter. So your right foot will govern everything.
So what's it rev to? 12,000? 15,000?
I mean, it will. Only once.
Rear-wheel drive, I've enjoyed driving it, but it's a different driving style.
The air doesn't seem to come on very well either.
Okay. But yeah, you're just going to be hot.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll just give you the honest truth.
There's another good jump around the corner that's like more of a kick.
Okay.
But there's a whole herd of cows coming.
There are brilliant local cars with brilliant drivers in them. Flash Tundo, Ian Duncan, Boldev Trugger in a Porsche 911. I'm pretty confident they're all multiple Kenyan National Rally champions. They rally in here week in, week out. They know where they're going in the sense that they know the region, they know the nature of the stages, and they're bloody good. They know how to rally here. They've been here all their lives. Why shouldn't they be? So it's brilliant to come and try and fight with them. But those three guys are brilliant contenders.
So I started rallying as a kid back in Sweden. Very fortunate enough to win the Junior World Championship the first year I was out racing in the world, and that kind of kick-started my racing or my rally career. I always raced on completely closed roads or race circuses. And here it's an open road. In the beginning very different, especially with the motorbikes and everything, to get used to that. But no, after a few, now it feels perfect. But in the beginning it was a lot of new things at the same time. Yeah. So we can still have people on the road, we can still have animals on the road, we can still have motorbikes on the road. Hopefully that will not be too big of an issue, but I'm still working it in my head.
It's great to come to Africa. It's such a culture change, and what we do and how we drive and the whole thing is quite different. They're outside their comfort zone when they first arrive, don't know what's going on. But it's a fantastic feeling.
Right, I'll jump in, take you for a lap, give you an idea of what I look for.
Yeah.
And how I deal with traffic and things like that.
Yeah.
Because the trick with the bikes when you meet them, don't try and guess which way they're going to go. Wait until they've made a decision.
Just got his attention, he just moved
Exactly.
and then we went.
Wait,
So
as soon as they commit, fine, go.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not fair, but it's fun. Well done. Well done.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Could you all take a seat? Comms are really important. So, co-drivers, please keep an eye on your phone. I'm going to give you an example. You haven't seen us on a roadside service. You've gone firing past. We'll have seen you, hopefully, and we're going to be wanting to say, hey, you've missed us. Point one. Point two, we've left your front left wheel loose. We want to text you to say, when you get somewhere, stop, please check your front wheel. So just because you think everything's great, please be vigilant on your phones. And there's a sat phone.
Is that one in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These will be issued to the car today.
Okay.
Probably behind the co-driver's seat.
Turn them off, leave them off. Hopefully never use them. They're very self-explanatory. Ours will always be on. Just factor that in. Don't just dawdle along going, life's great. Push on. And then when we stop you, wherever we stop you, we're going to do we'll probably help you with some calculations, but it is the co-driver's responsibility to give us a 5-minute warning, say, look, we've got to go. Please write anything you feel needs doing to your car on the basis that we may not see you. We're going to try and see you, we're going to try and speak to you, but please give us a written job list. And I'd like you to be as precise as you can be, and I'd like you to be as detailed as you can be, because however small the problem, it could be the start of something and you might not recognize it. So if you say to us, look, the front right's knocking, it's a tiny knock, that's helpful. If you say to me, it does it over speed bumps, or it does it here but it doesn't do there, then that's, again, it's more information for us. We'll obviously talk to you about it. But if you just think it's a small knock and go, it's nothing, that knock could become a bigger knock. So we've done our very best to prepare for this rally. The cars are pretty proven, but we're about to do the toughest historic rally in the world, and we're going to have some problems.
What? Tell me what?
Once you have a big problem on this rally, it becomes an even bigger problem. That's why we're here. So our job is to keep them small. But rest assured, we've got you, and we will put out whatever stops necessary to get you to the finish. Please help us with that task.
$500. Yes, 300, jump. Fast, twisty, continuous over crests. Through the narrow and twisty.
That's what it's all about. That's real Sapphire. The first stage was just the warm-up. Look at our rear tires. And they were brand new at the start. So you know what the car's been through. For us it's easy.
top cars are through. We're waiting for the next batch. What we've seen for sure is more tyre wear on this stage than we've ever seen, and that's since 2003. So that must have been tough.
So I hope their tyre wear is directly associated with their stage time. The more worn, the faster they've gone.
Steering rack! Steering rack! Hey, can you grab me a ball of rags? Come right there. Just throw them under.
And there was no more steering.
No, you haven't done it. Pop that back on.
We've had some brake problems. Everyone's overcooked their brakes in there, so we have some boiling fluid. But delighted we're here, delighted there are no major dramas, and on we continue.
Honestly, it's the first proper rally stage I've ever done. Like everything I've done since I was 16 just feels silly compared to this. Like it had everything. It had all the rough in the world, fast sections. It was just an amazing drive, and we really enjoyed it all the way. Henke hit his head halfway through the stage in one bump. Perfect, yeah. So I was just trying to take care of the wheel spin and
take care of the co-driver.
Take care of the co-driver.
How's the head?
It's okay. It's big and it's not so much in it, so it rattles around a lot in there. But it's mega.
Good day overall. Three big stages, extremely rough by all accounts. Most cars took a bit of a beating, some more than others. But to be honest, really well managed by all drivers. Remon had a fairly large hit today, broke a steering rack. So big job for the guys. They did a great job getting it back on the road and through the service through to the end of the day. So they've got 2 hours in the evening to carry out any major repairs that need doing. So there's some welding going on. There's lots of big sledgehammers being slung, straightening them out. But yeah, 2 hours now just to get everything ready for tomorrow. Ken came out on top today, so day one, great start, really well managed.
Brilliant, don't you think? I mean, he puts himself on the line, doesn't he? Comes in amongst all this lot, done it all before, and that's a true professional, isn't it? Patrik, we're missing you. We're missing you.
My last dollar will be spent on family and cars. You know, that's the way I get my kicks. I have a totally different life at work. There I'm, in a suit and a little bit more formal. Quite a bit more formal. But the reality is, I very much like coming out here and, shorts and a t-shirt and being a bit muddy and just having the ability to get in a car and be part of the team and part of the gang and not have to make decisions. It's a very welcome respite sometimes. Once you've done it once, it's just under your skin.
It's dangerous driving in Kenya at times. Us lot, service crew, management, containers, tyre trucks, damper trucks. We're on our own mission. And sometimes it can start at 3 o'clock in the morning and it can end at 3 o'clock the next morning. We've got a bit of pressure on, we've got to be where we've got to be. By comparison to modern rallying where you're all stuck in a service park for 3 or 4 days. Yeah, it takes a special bunch to pull it off. The drivers face a unique challenge on this event. It's hot, very hot at times. It's pretty demanding, physically and mentally. But one of our key strategies here is that we have a great medical team to support not only the drivers, but all the technicians.
Fucking dying.
Yeah. The dog's here if you want to have a word. Come and get in some shade. You all right for the engine? The Safari Rally has bitten a few of our drivers. Ken got a double puncher at 6Ks into a 100K stage, so he lost 6 minutes, got caught in the dust chasing back the time, so that's a bit of a thing. Chris had a puncher also, lost a load of time, as did Philip. Patrik had a small excursion into the undergrowth, but set the fastest time. So yeah, just a typical day on the Safari Rally where it takes very, very little for the balance of power to shift.
I'm not really sure what happened here because there was nothing in the road book there, and then I heard Patrik get ooh when I looked up, and there it was, the fence.
A fast right-hander, but it was like a field on the outside, so I could maybe manage the corner, but as it was the field I just let it out, and when I didn't see the fence before we hit it, and then that was like dragging after the car.
I did that same thing on this last stage, like I'm not going to make the corner, there's a field there, you know, no fence though in my case.
He was quite a civilized gap behind Ian Duncan. But without knowing the start into the stage, we're guessing. I mean, Ian's very fast, he's a local man. I think he may have taken some time. Here comes another car.
Actually, we are partners, we're together. We've been together now for 5 years, and we survived the first safari. So a lot of people say, you know, you go separate ways after you do a rally like that as partners. The stress does build up. But we have one rule. You leave what happens in the car in the car. You do not take it out when you get out.
Yeah, good stage. That was a real safari stage. We really fast, lots of animals, you know, lots of super rocky washes. We had an intercom failure about halfway through, so it was the ultimate negative event where Ryan couldn't hear me, but I could hear Ryan. He gets very upset when I don't slow down at his call, but then we're just sitting there waiting to get into the corner. But then again, sometimes, you know, I'm not there and I'm coming in a bit hot. So we won our first stage, which was really nice. Second stage, we had a puncture, which wasn't too bad. That went, you know, people had bad luck, some people did well. But, you know, we still got through it relatively well. Third stage, we got through it cleanly, but, you know, we dropped so much time to the pros.
Just a messy day in some respects. Ken hit a rock on the first stage and second stage and took out both his right-hand tyres, so double puncture. Chris had some puncture worries. I think we've had 6-7 punctures today, which is unusual. It's been rough and fast, and there's a chance that these drivers are driving a little bit too quickly at this stage in the event. However, on a positive note, we're all here. We have got cars spread across the top 10 and the top 16. The new guys are doing brilliantly, continuing to set good times. So, no, there's a load to be thankful for. Yeah, end of day 2-hour service. What's being fixed? Everything that needs to be fixed as usual. We've changed the gearbox, precautionary really, because there was a noise coming in from the final stage on David's car, so we don't ask any questions, we just change stuff. A little bit of welding where the cars have been hit hard. But on the flip side, some cars are being hoovered and cleaned. Every car is different, and of course if you've got 13 cars in the rally, you'd be deluded to think that on any given stage you're not going to have something to challenge you. So the boys are typically working their backsides off. You caught me with a pair of spanners in my hand, which is unusual these days. However, of course, I enjoy it if I have to. This is the Safari Rally, and this is why we do what we do, and we don't hold back. So, normal stuff. Another day done. Oh, and we're staying in a campsite tonight, which is a huge treat for everybody. I haven't stayed in one here on the rally since 2003 in Eldoret. We've got 2 nights here, and who doesn't love the sound of a tent zip early in the morning? This year we had a fair few first-timers, and there is no better rallying education than the Safari Rally.
Do not miss that junction back there.
If you look at there's a bunch of guys that are new to this, and this is the first time they've come rallying, but they've got a professional co-driver next to them. You know, neither of us have been in either chair, and we're swapping each stage, so we're learning so much. People love to see the cars. You know, particularly the kids. You got kids running out onto the road to wave, and people trying to stop you to get pictures taken and stuff. You know, the majority of people are actually loving having the rally come through their town and getting close to it and getting up close to the cars.
We've been asked for our autograph. That's how crazy it is.
That's how little they know about rallying.
Straight on the sign here, straight, then down there, turn left. Carry on, left, and then tightens there, yeah.
Been to Kenya 20 years ago, and coming back is an amazing surprise. It's beautiful, and the country has changed so much for the better.
If you take into account the terrain, the heat, and the length of the stages, the times that these guys are setting and how hard they're pushing really sometimes gives you the feel of a sprint rally versus an endurance rally. I come to see my favourite van again.
We always mentioned you actually.
It's still like it's a 2-year request. I want to buy the van. Every year I get turned down, but at least I can come and see it. I have searched this type of van in Europe forever. Every year I get home and I can't find one. Fred, this is an old ambulance. Tool rolls. And it's still got the nurse's seat. It's just wonderful. You did a 106. 106. It's not uncommon that the cars can come through an 80k section and still have a matter of seconds separating a handful of cars.
50 seconds off or ahead?
You took 50 off.
Oh, okay.
Well done.
GoPro's gone, mate. GoPro departed in the first stage at some point. Very sorry about that.
There's only 80 kilometres to walk if you want to go back and look for it.
Man, this last stage, I've never driven a better road. I've never had a better drive in my entire life. It was unbelievable.
Super well, very nice.
Nice stage?
Yeah, nice stage. We went quick, no mistakes, no big things, very nice. Even Stefan was saying I did well, so, you know. Instead of saying slow, 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 this is good. Very nice progress. Fantastic. This doesn't look like beer. Good drive, Kenny?
Superb. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Zebras galore. Posse of baboons were trying to intimidate us. They kind of strut in front of you, you know, like this. Like they win the place, you know.
They give it all the beans.
All that stuff flexing.
Just has some cracks on the rear arms, just had to weld them up to stop them getting anywhere. Well, every evening we get 2 hours to re-prep the car. This one needed some significant welding, so we had to pull the engine out to get the cracks fixed, whatever the damage from the hit it took yesterday.
The rear cross member got punched out or split around it, and it's the damper cross member.
15 of welding, and then we need the last bit to get the engine back in, and we should be done on time. It will be very tight, yeah, very tight indeed, yeah.
So what we're going to need is a plate cut to that shape. Yeah, might as well start cutting.
And it's down to extraordinarily dedicated technicians who work under pressure and get it done. We have a mentality in the team that it just has to be done. It's got to happen, and it will happen. It always does happen. So if you've got to take the engine out, if you've got to change the gearbox, if you've got to look at a small niggle, we'll do it.
Fucking taste the task already, boys. 5 minutes to spare, got it done. Well done.
Well done, Dennis.
Well done. Cheers, Dennis.
19 minutes to the day on the side.
That was easy. Should we do another one?
We're fucking well along the side.
Well done, mate.
A long day tomorrow, a tricky day tomorrow. There's a service point which is only tyres and fuel, and that's leading into a 100k stage. So, yeah, going to be tricky.
Actually a major day today, about 800 to 900 kilometres in total, taking in all the stages at the same time. So I think it's called the Endurance Day. I think someone's christened it the Endurance Day. So as long as we endure, there'll be nothing to worry about.
There's no service at the end of the first one, which is very tricky in Africa. We're only allowed tyres and fuel, so if there's any problems in the first stage they go into, they'll carry those problems through to the second of the stages. So there are risks here. I mean, certainly some drivers might think, oh, you know, everyone's going to back off in the first stage and maybe I can make up a bit of time in here, but it's probably not the best thing to do because Africa always wins.
What, first time?
Come on!
It's kind of hard to judge, you know, the road was, I don't know, 15 meters wide, so you could really pick different lines. And you try to see where like the locals have been going to, I guess they're driving where there's least holes, right? So try to follow their tracks, so even though it was straight, you were still going from side to side.
Been shopping?
Yep. We are now jumped back to fourth place. Made up some time on that stage. Difficult stage. The first 20k is lots of crests and fast sections, and you either commit or you gotta find a fine line. The speed has to be calculated. 10 drop kids, it's just absolutely flat out. 70 meters wide road. It's just put it in fifth gear and you go. So we really enjoyed it. It was a good start of the day.
This is Philip's second safari now, so the first time 2 years ago was obviously quite an eye-opener for him, I think, having come from a circuit racing background. You know, we had a good result really in the end. We finished fourth in 2019, but it's fair to say we had a few challenges along the way.
What happened to us is there was an unmarked jump, which should have been a double or triple caution. And Ryan's looking down at his notes saying, no, there's nothing there. And I keep seeing something getting bigger and bigger. I start slowing down, but too late. I held the brakes as we went over the top of this jump, which pitched our car right onto the nose. We landed on the nose and bent the car like that. We finished the day, and I've had some time to let the adrenaline wash off. And I actually called my mom, and I just told her what an unbelievable day it was, that we'd had an accident. The car was not in great shape, but we were okay. And yeah, it was really special. She was actually hopeful of coming out here for this one, but unfortunately things don't always come out the way we want them to.
I think we're 9th fastest, so it's a good warm-up for these next 2 endurance ones, and we'll just try and get through these 2 with no big drama, and yeah, hopefully get through the other end, because it's going to be pretty tough, I think.
Or turn, is it a road that goes out or turn around, whatever you like?
1.4.
Ken may have stopped in the stage. We're not 100% sure what's happened, so hopefully it's nothing major, but yeah, it doesn't sound promising.
I think I saw Ken standing on the stage right at the first big dip. There was like rocks there, and I think he took a wheel off because he was standing facing us. So I think that actually he took a wheel off. Long way out. Long way out.
He just piled straight into something sort of unsurvivable. So the cars take a big hit regularly and they can survive almost anything, but you can break them. And the hole that he went into at that speed, it's remarkable that there wasn't more damage.
You'd be going along fast, all of a sudden it would go like this. That wasn't in the notes.
There was an error in the calling of a note, and that was the difference between amazing success and utter devastation and disappointment. Big shame, but I look forward to putting that right next time.
So this is my secret trick. So I have ice cold water and I put it on my balaclava so it's completely wet, put it over my head, and I can pretend I'm on a snowmobile in Sweden. It's a nice feeling.
Cars going that way, trucks, mopeds, motorbikes. I never co-driven before, so everything is new for me. This is the new normal for me now.
There's the adrenaline of, running through a stage and doing it really well. There's the personal endurance of making it through 110, 120k stage, which on roads that are not roads by anybody's standard. It's a real experience, it's a real trial.
What's your role here, Fred?
See everything, do everything.
See everything, do everything, okay. I thought he was to look after grandfather.
And that.
I was supposed to look after him, they said, but I thought the other way around. Do you know why he has such big ears?
So you can hear?
No.
Oh, fan to keep him cool.
He's air cooled. Like a Porsche.
Good morning from what is called the rest day. Ironic really, because there's no rest as you can see here. So the drivers have a day off. We have 5 hours to service the cars. The decision we've got to make here is always what to touch and what not to touch. So we've got routine job lists that we go through all the cars, but then do you fit new rear arms, do you fit new shock absorbers? And the discussion we have with ourselves is actually if everything's settled, everything's doing well, we've had no problems, best left alone. We've gone back to lower altitude jets, so we've richened the cars back up. We've got a total of 5 hours, probably a couple of hours to run. Boys are doing a great job, and this is what it is. It's 33 degrees, it's bloody hot, and yeah, again, these boys are they're heroic.
To be honest, after the first day I was like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. I'm not a proper athlete like Patrik, so it's incredible. I mean, the car is great. I mean, the preparations of them are flawless. I mean, it's impressive. We go over so rough stuff on the stages. I mean, of course, we have it in mind to be careful about the car all the time, but it got a proper beating out on the stages, but it just run flawless. I mean, and the team is doing such a great job keeping it together. So
what you find is the fastest drivers do the least damage.
Bjorn didn't put a scratch on his car. He didn't break the gearbox. He didn't blow the engine up.
He crashed into a truck.
Well, he took the roof off at one point, but we put another one on.
And we fitted a new roll cage. So in terms of did Bjorn put a scratch on the car, a small one.
The cars are designed to continue in these conditions indefinitely.
We don't expect to fit masses of spare parts on this rally. You see lots of checking, you see the odd drama, you see bits and pieces everywhere, but we don't expect to throw bits at these cars because fundamentally they work.
It's such a challenge to be able to get to the finish, and I think we have just tried to, you know, ignore what everybody else have been doing and just focusing on our plan, sticking to our plan, and that's what we're going to keep doing.
I mean, it's 4 days to go, so
yeah, it's definitely still a long rally, and I think that one thing that I learned throughout all the years of driving is that the only thing that I'm in control of is whatever we are doing in the car.
It's great. It's just great crack. You know, it's like a road trip. You know, we have the most ridiculous incidents. We have a big kind of leery moment, and the thing lands completely sideways, and we look at each other and piss ourselves laughing and carry on. You know, it's.
I have pretty clear targets. We're sitting 9th right now. We've got about 2 minutes to the 2 cars in front of us, which, you know, that's doable in maybe 2 days if we're lucky. And I still think a top 5 is probably possible right now. So that would be the goal.
I've not been on a safari rally without the old man, I don't think. Well, I reckon you did it in '81 in the Saab.
Well, yes.
Which made me about 7.
Yes, Richard was quite a bit younger when his first, but on that occasion you came out and the whole family, including the mother-in-law, were sent off on a safari.
I remember the pineapple juice. We stayed in a hotel in the middle of Nairobi.
Yes.
And but I can still taste the pineapple juice.
Have you got any plans to get on the tools this trip? How does that work?
You're looking at Fred's or me?
You.
Of course.
There's two things here. He's looking to get on the tools. I'm looking for him not really get on the tools. We need to use him on demand.
But if I can help, then I will.
We're stronger without him. No.
No,
that was wrong.
No,
we're stronger with him than without him. So, absolutely, no discussion. It's great to have him on the event. Dust is significant in Africa, particularly at this time of year. It's everywhere. It's in your eyes, it's in your clothes, it's in every single corner of every single car. For the drivers, they have to find a balance between caution and their naturally competitive instinct. Overtaking is a really, really challenging and risky business here.
We're getting a new transmission. I did a 50 on the last stage.
So that would be helpful to go a little quicker.
These guys are second to none. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Life is about competition. But I'm all about racing and I'm all about winning. But I learned throughout the years, I'm almost 40 now, so I learned that you can't win them all.
Patrik's drive shaft issue was tough, actually. Not a good time. It's always tough because he was in a winning position. I mean, he'd driven as I'd expected him to from the start. His performance was measured. He had speed. None of that was a surprise. And we've been very, very honest about why there was a failure. And I have to say it's our fault. We had a rebuild error on his right-hand drive shaft, and sometimes you get it wrong. And it, however hard it is, you've got to put your hand up and say, yeah, got it wrong.
Come on, Kurt. 500, jump over white.
We had 30 Ks left in the stage and we're driving along like 10 K from the end, and all of a sudden my rear steps out on the straight. We almost crashed in a straightaway because the right rear had gone completely flat and I didn't know it. So we just made the decision to drive the rest of the stage on it. And if you look down here at it, we had to drive basically on the rim. So this one in here.
I think we're 8th.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Not too bad, not quite where we want to be, but we'd like to try and push past Houston and get behind the guys in the escort.
We went up one spot now, so we are 3rd. And there's 2 more days to go and 2 more spots we would like to climb. So let's see if it's possible. I think it will be hard to do it just by speed, but this is safari and everything can happen. So we're just gonna keep on it and see how far that will take us. Yesterday when the drive shaft broke, it was proven once again that you really need mechanical skills in this event as well, and Henke is a fantastic mechanic. So I wouldn't say that I just sat back and watched, but I was giving him the tools he needed, and he swapped that drive shaft in like 20 minutes on a stage. So that's pretty remarkable. So all thanks to him that we're here right now.
At this point, I'm enjoying going fast, enjoying these beautiful roads, not taking much risk, but really learning to get the most out of this car. So hopefully we can keep going quick. Was at a 1st fastest and a 4th fastest yesterday, so I don't know, hopefully we can keep that going.
Philip is valiantly fighting back. His mission is to reclaim 5th place. It's a special thing. The chase is a very special thing. Once drivers have faced a setback on an event like this, it takes a special mindset to keep pushing. Patrik's just on a charge.
Turn first right, over bump.
But one thing is for sure, that the pressure's on, and it's at that time where you really can test the relationship inside the car.
Okay, hang on, turn around. Turn around! Oh no, hang on. Holy shit! Turn that, go that way.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's here.
The
were over 100 junctions in that stage, so it was quite tricky to navigate.
Some of those junctions are just insane.
Well, realistically, Patrik is the only one who's got the closest, but if Ken didn't have a problem, then I definitely want him to win.
Hence the hat.
Hence the hat.
Tuthill service, which means only one night service left after this one, which is always a good moment in this rally. Tuthill's in the backdrop. It's a pretty special place. We're staying in the amazing Salt Lick Lodge, which is 10 k's from here, so that's all nice stuff to look forward to. The day, unfortunately, had a cancelled stage, which is disappointing because we need mileage to claw back time loss for Patrik. So his job is getting harder. Car-wise, great. No dramas today. As you might imagine, the team now is well oiled, so they're pretty slick. Cars have gone in early from the 2-hour service, and yeah, the countdown's begun. Of course, we'd like a bit more drama because it will continue to push us forward. But 10 cars in the top 20, and I think it's something like 6 in the top 10, maybe 5. It's absolutely wonderful. Those new to Safari are having a wonderful time, driving really well, and all is rosy in the service park tonight. All to play for. We just keep the pressure on the guys and hope there's a weakness there somewhere. But at the moment, we need them to have a problem for us to regain the lead. But I'd imagine he's safely in third and trying to close in on second. So still plenty to play for.
To be able to drive on close roads like this, like a private property, was just so much fun. It was a very long stage, over 80 k's, so you see I'm sweating quite a bit, but we tried to just keep going all the time. I don't know, maybe we did 200 junction in there, and we missed 2 where we had to take the handbrake and go back. So lost a few seconds there, but I think everybody had some small mistakes in there because I could see lines a little bit funny left and right. So no, we're happy we're here, so we're just gonna keep going.
Strain on your body and everything, how are you coping and how are you pushing through to the end?
Lots of sleep, lots of rest, vegetables, fruit every night, no alcohol whatsoever. Yeah, just a real good regime. Hour of yoga in the morning, quick run, just sets yourself up nicely for the day. I stay fit to stay in shape.
Quite early on we met one of the Datsuns coming towards us, directly towards us. And what had happened was he overshot the junction. We were looking for the junction, but we were more worried about him. And literally as we passed him, we missed the junction, so he took it, and then we had to follow him for 50 kilometres in his dust. But obviously we've got a long day and a big stage at the end, so it's a tough day still to go. And especially when you've got Philip.
Along the fan, hard to see in the full.
2 stages this morning, he's sort of taken 4 minutes off Ian, so he's now 5:07. So that's starting to become game on for a realistic challenge on second. So he's driven exceptionally well. First mud holes of the rally, and if you look under the wheel arch, you could easily have added, I'd say, between 20 and 50 kilos worth of mud on the car. So it's all of this is just weight that the car is now carrying. If you zoom in under there, if you look now, imagine how hard it is to service that car. Have a quick look. Absolutely full of it.
35 kilometers an hour average. There was one safari van, which we flew by, doors off. How much time?
I don't know.
I think I might have made some back.
Just punch him, because everyone fell out of him.
You're fast.
No, I'm stupid.
We don't believe him.
Well, check the time code, mate.
I think they've found a little cheeky shortcut, these boys. Either that or Phillips had 18 Weetabix or something this morning.
19.
Well, there's been some requests for gin and tonic, but I don't think we can do that. It's going to be a hydration and carbohydrate mix. Yummy.
Final day. It's the last one. It all went so quickly. Who are you?
Finally, we've poached him off the hotel. He was security for the Voi Wildlife Lodge. What do you think? Genuinely been trying to purchase him from the gift shop there for 4 years, and when James went back this morning, he wasn't even on display. They had to dig him out. He's coming home, hand luggage, and they're going to smuggle him without a passport into the UK. And he's going to be our new doorman. He's going to stand proudly next to the Michelin Man.
My teeth are sweating. You have to put your spanners in the shade because you can't touch them. Not many people think about that.
I think now we only have 1 minute up to second, so there's like 12 minutes to the leader. We started off 21 minutes behind after the drive shaft broke, so we kind of taken back half of that, but with only 1 day to go, we can reach second by ourselves.
That was a good stage. We took 40 seconds on Duncan now. So.
We went for a push to show them that we are here and that we haven't given up, and so far so good.
2Ks just sat behind like 20 camels.
It was like one of the Spanish bull runs but with camels.
Keep it to the last day, you know?
You did 22 seconds off Patrick. Where have you been all rally?
It's the old Chris, he's back.
Yeah, he's in second, everyone's cruising.
Alright, we have finished the East Africa Safari Rally. Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
So we haven't won on this occasion. That's to be expected, it's part of the game. To win here, everything has to align, everything has to be perfect. We've managed to achieve that 4 times, which is more than any other team. But on this occasion, we've been beaten by the local legend, and there's no disgrace in that.
Cheers, we did it! The time of my life, really.
Cheers, we did it! We survived! We accomplished!
Over these slow bumps we spent most of the time rebounding and on our nose and in the bushes, and all the while 3 kilometres just hysterically laughing when we should have been paying attention.
They got me, so I'm coming back as soon as I can, and I hope to spend more time in this car.
What is it? In the first 1,000 Ks on Tuthill.
Right, who else wants one?
Oh, that's so good. It's really so good. Thank you so much.
Great job. Well done.
Seeing these clients who come from all sorts of backgrounds just have the most extraordinary time. And I don't think there's many places you can do this. You can have that experience. So that's what it's about for me. And yeah, of course, 911 is the best thing you can ever want to own or drive. Of course it is.
It was fun. It was fun. Definitely, we really wanted that win, but yeah, second. We're happy with second. I think we showed good pace and showed that we can have the speed to win the race. So I'm very happy with that. And overall, you know, we have done everything we can to make a good result. And yeah, I'm super happy where we are.
Yeah, it's Africa. I mean, I don't think you could expect to go here the first time and then not have any technical problems. So I mean, and now we are on the podium now with two of Kenya's best drivers and co-drivers. I mean, we're proud of what we achieved, so it's good.
If he'd had another couple of days, of course, on speed alone he would have won a rally. But you can't say that with rallying. You can't say would have, could have. That was mighty impressive.
That's the first time I've finished a gravel rally in a 911 where it hasn't been on its roof. Very happy with that.
This for us was a beautiful experience. Like we had our problems, we had our punctures, we had our failures, we got lost, we got stuck, we had everything, and we loved every minute of it.
And it is a monster in itself. Well done, congratulations!
The emotion involved in doing what we're doing is extraordinary. So there's a lot of heart and soul. And actually, you know what? There's the clients, but then there's all the techs and the team, and to live for 3-4 weeks with people you work with, that's life-changing as well. It's great. I mean, what other job do you get that opportunity to go and do this with the guys you work with and have a great time?
Shoes needed to pee. Come on, girls.
One day, 100%. Soon as I turn 18 and the next rally comes, definitely come out here.
I think you're going to be in a Porsche.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
So is that going to be my job?
That's going to be Richard's job.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still a way up for
I'll
another.
be looking after you.
So let's say that's going to be, for ease of number, 7 years away. Dad's going to be 81.
Thank you.
Hope he's still good with the carburettor then. You know, look, is it the start of the next generation of a slot in Kenya? Maybe. If so, isn't that cool?
Take me higher, wanna get higher with you. Take me higher, wanna get higher with you now. Take me higher. Responsibility, it's better for the both of us. I can never get to where I wanna be, but loving you is close enough.